Well, the second half was definitely was men against boys. I'll take all the loss for that. I didn't have my guys prepared. That was men against boys in the second half. I thought the physicality, the environment here was big time. It was a big time atmosphere. The Big East is so underrated when you look at atmosphere, competitive edge, top to bottom. That was one of Connecticut's best games from start to finish in a long time. So you got to give them a lot of credit. Danny did a great job having his kids ready. My kids weren't. I thought we were soft. I thought we were not connected. And I think the environment had a lot to do with that, So the $2 beers definitely worked. The white shirts definitely worked. That was a game that they needed to win, and they played like it, right? That was a old school Big East battle, but it's not the end of the day. You get a couple of games where your team don't play well, and the leaders got to take responsibility for it. This loss is 1,000,000% on me. I'll promise you, the next time we play, we're going to have a different conversation because it'll be definitely different in New York if we're fortunate to play. We just didn't have it today, and that's on me. That's on me and my staff. We didn't do a good job preparing them emotionally, mentally, or physically. To be 20 to 40 on the backboard, it was a better CYO game that this crowd could have watched. That was the effort that my team had out there. So, we'll pick them up. We'll love them up. This loss is 1,000% on me. I'll take accountability for it. We'll move on. We'll prepare for a Sunday game at Georgetown, right? It's the wars of the Big East. It's the drugs of February. So, I'm not going to let this ruin my Thursday. I can tell you that. And have a nice coffee, watch some film, and get my men pick them up because they're going to need it.
Hey, what was the difference in the second half? The first half, you still weren't rebounding like you usually do. The second half, it just fell off a little bit.
Happened, you got to give them credit. This gets deflections. I thought the biggest turning point in the game was we missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and then we fouled immediately. So it goes, instead of being 6, it goes from 8 to 11. And then we had 3 possessions where it was 2 turnovers and 2 bad shots. And, from there, you're playing on a road in this environment. This was a hell of an environment to play in. They should give all those kids in the arena free beer because I think that was a big reason why they play with so much energy.
And in that half, the first half, I think there were no free throws, 2 fouls called. Second half was like normal.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think the kids want to get thrown off by just the way the first half was called?
No, we got the best officials in America. I don't. No, and it was a well officiated game. It was a really well officiated game, and I think their energy and their enthusiasm in the second half, when the ball's not going in the basket, you tend to get frustrated offensively. So, you give a little defensive. We had so many defensive lapses, so many just switches. What's the known? Hawkins is going to take shots. They're going to try to throw it into Sonogo. Aline comes in. He was a big, big factor in the game. Clinton was a big factor in the game. We just didn't follow the scout report. That's why I thought my team just wasn't focused and dialed in. We tried to. Yeah, but that was bad coaching. That was bad substitutions. That's on me. I shouldn't have subbed.
It just not much difference if the claim make there in the second half.
He's gonna be a good player. His size definitely bothered us. They had how many offensive rebounds? You give a good team like that's playing with that emotion and energy at home, you're not going to shut teams out when they're getting that many offensive rebounds. I think they lead the country percentage-wise in offensive rebounds. We worked on that, but clearly we didn't follow through with the instruction, I don't think they made an adjustment at all. I really don't. I think Bryce Hopkins is the best player in the Big East, hands down. He just didn't play as well as he wanted today. There wasn't one adjustment made, I think he had some open shots. I don't think the ball found him today. I don't know. You're just as good of a coach as I am. What adjustments you think they made? The ball just didn't go in the basket. He had I don't know how many shots he took. We didn't get to the foul line as much as we normally do, but I don't think they did much of an adjustment. I think they just played better offensively, and we got frustrated when the ball didn't go in the basket.
And many of the things that you said tonight are coming to the answer about this team.
Sure.
It's the whole field, the only thing or the other reasons that UConn was playing?
Well, the home court definitely had a lot to do with it. But when you look at, I think, I mean, how many times have teams in this league lost at home that are in the top half of the league? 2? Right? Not right. I mean, so I think that kind of answers your question a little bit. It's hard playing on the road against in any game, And this environment was as good as an environment that you have in college basketball. These fans deserve a lot of credit. They willed their team today. So again, the great job by your team did a good job getting all those people in here, and for, the many arrogant fans that are out there that don't think that this is one of the best New England basketball games. Connecticut's been very fortunate to have some incredible teams and incredible coaches, and this fan base is extremely spoiled. Appreciate winning. Appreciate that. It's the reason why them dudes are in the Hall of Fame on the men's and women's side. Don't get arrogant with it. Appreciate it and try to get the next one. That's what an educated fan base appreciates, and that's what the Friars do.
And how do you overcome an atmosphere when it's like that on the road in the Big East?
I mean, it's not the first hostile environment we played in. When the ball don't go in the basket, get a little frustrated. And again, they played great. They played great. And obviously, we've been watching them all year. That looked like the Connecticut team that played early in the season. They had it popping today. Made a lot of shots, got to the free throw line, offensive rebound, played inside out. They scored it at 3 levels. If you rate that game that they played today, I'll bet that's one of the best games they played probably in the Big East season. They got an A+ today.
One more question.
Martin Head now has a 2-game lead in the top 5 in the conference. Do you see any way that you, Creighton or Xavier, might be able to overcome that?
You still got to play the games. We're not just mailing in championships to people. Every team has to go out there and earn a win. Today, UConn earned a big-time win. Providence College is a hell of a basketball team. We didn't play like that today, but over the course of the year, I think our men have earned the right to be ranked. We've earned the right to be in the position that we're in. What are we in, 2nd or 3rd place? So it's not like, it's not like we're 1-22. The Big East top to bottom is so competitive. They got to go on the road for a couple of games. Do they got the inside track? Absolutely. They should. They're playing well. I think their coach will be the national coach of the year. He's probably the Big East coach of the year. I mean, there's a lot of good players in our league, and that's a credit to the league. It's a really big time credit to the league. But just because we lost the game, that's not the end of the world, baby. I promise you, my kids will be challenged over the next 72 hours. I promise you that. You see us play, buckle up.